So today I'm going to be making a cinnamon bun. If you've ever had Cinnabon, it is amazing. So I tried to do my best to duplicate that. A lot of people, especially when I see students and messages on Instagram, they're always like, we want to see you bake, we want to see you bake, because of course I always cook, I'm a chef. But listen, don't sleep on me. I am a good baker as well. So I'm going to show you a couple different baking techniques and skills that I have, and we're going to see how it goes. So this is 2% milk, and I have it at about 123 degrees. You want to make sure that you have it between 120 and 130 degrees so that the yeast doesn't die, but it also has enough, heat to thrive. Next, I'm going to use 1 1/4 teaspoon of instant dry yeast. And this is rapid instant dry yeast. Next, we're gonna add 1/4 cup of sugar. Next, I'm gonna be adding 1 egg. The egg is at room temperature. I actually just put it in a cup of warm water, just so that it brings it up, so it's not just, cold being added to something we want to stay warm. So I'm gonna go ahead and add this egg. Add 1/2 teaspoon of salt. So this is 1/4 teaspoon. All right. Salt is always crucial when you're adding it into things because it kind of balances out the sweet. Next, I'm gonna add 3 tablespoons of butter. And this butter is a little melted. I left it out and then I just warmed it up just so that it's not cold butter that I was adding to this. Next, I'm gonna add 2 1/4 cup of all-purpose flour. Now, the key to flouring is making sure that it is leveled. So you wanna make sure that you take your knife and you just kind of even it out before you add it. So that's 1 cup. Today we're gonna use a stand mixer. However, you can use whatever you feel comfortable. You definitely can do it by hand if you don't have a mixer. But I have one, so I'm not gonna work harder. I'm gonna work smarter. And I'm gonna mix this. All right, so while we're waiting for our dough to rise, we're gonna go ahead and do the filling. Right now I have 1/4 cup of butter. The butter has melted just a little bit. I got the bowl hot and just added the room temperature butter to it, and it just kind of barely melted. We don't want to get it too melty because then it's going to spread everywhere. We don't want it to be too hard because then it won't spread at all. So next we're going to go ahead and add a tablespoon of cinnamon, and I want to level it off in the little container. I'm going to add a tablespoon of cinnamon. And I'm gonna add 1/2 cup of light brown sugar. Now with light brown sugar, you wanna make sure that you pack it. Packing means you wanna make sure that it's fully, completely just full of sugar. Then you just wanna take your hand or a knife or a spoon and just kind of pack it in, all right? 1/4 cup that I have. I'm also gonna add 1 teaspoon of vanilla extract. Next, we're going to take a mat. So this is just a mat I have in the house. You can actually just use your countertop. You don't have to use a mat. I just hate being super, super messy in the kitchen. But I have a mat here. I'm going to go ahead and add a little bit of flour. One thing I'm always is resourceful. So I actually forgot that I needed a rolling pin and I can't find mine for some reason. What I do have is a bottle of wine, still closed, but I wrapped the wine in a in saran wrap, and then I put a little bit of flour so it wouldn't stick, and this is what I'm going to use as my rolling pin. So, and take my dough, pop it right down. All right, nice and big. And I'm just going to roll. So now we got our nice dough rolled out. I'm gonna take my spatula. left behind from the filling was a little bit of the brown sugar, butter, cinnamon mix. So I'm gonna go ahead and make that into the frosting. I'm gonna take a 1/4 of a cup of cream cheese. Usually you would do like a powdered sugar glaze. Not in my house. We're going big, because if you don't go big, you go home. A teaspoon of powdered sugar and a teaspoon of milk. And let's get this swirl. So here they are, pulling them straight out of the oven. Alrighty, so it got lightly brown on the top. We're gonna take our glaze and we're gonna go ahead and just layer and glaze that right over the top. You could also warm up your glaze because it is cream cheese based. You could put it in the microwave for about 30 seconds just to get it warm so that you can kind of drizzle it. I like to just have mine do it organically and just have it kind of just melt into the buns, but that's just me. Alrighty guys, so thank you so much for joining me today. Hopefully you learned at least a little bit about how to make some cinnamon rolls. Again, if you have any questions, do not hesitate to reach out to me. And the recipe, of course I cannot leave the recipe out. I will upload the recipe to my personal website so that you guys can, have that for yourself and be able to make it at home for your friends and family. Last thing, I want to make sure that you guys are staying at home, washing your hands, and being cognizant of all of the activities that you're doing so that you keep yourself as well as your friends and family safe. Thank you so much and have a great afternoon, morning, or evening, whatever time you're watching this. Bye, guys.